Hey guys, so I thought I'd share a story of my own since I haven't done that yet, and I've had some comments on the videos requesting that I do that, and I think it'd be fun, so I'm gonna give it a try. Um, so I thought I have a lot of stories that I could share, but one in particular I think kind of stands out, and it's not something that I manifested for myself, but it's something that I manifested for someone else, and I think a lot of times when people are just starting off using these type of principles and using their imagination and their power of belief, it's easier to do things for others because we don't have as many hang-ups about doing it that way. Whereas if we're trying to manifest things for ourselves, we might have, I don't know, certain negative beliefs or something about whether we're worthy or whether it's what we really want, etc. So anyway, um, so I manifested something from my friend. My friend was in a really bad spot for a little while financially. He didn't have any money, he didn't have a job, he didn't have a car, and he just had his first kid. So he was really kind of worried about money and what he was going to do, and he was feeling down about himself and just feeling kind of worthless. And I really wanted to help him out. So I thought, well, what can I do? What could I possibly use my imagination for that would help him improve his situation? And I thought, well, he doesn't have a job, so he can't get a car because he doesn't have the money. And because he doesn't have a car, he can't get a job. So I really felt like it would take a miracle to get this guy out of his situation. But I thought, you know what, if he could just get a car, if I could help him get a car somehow, then that would go a long way. So I decided to spend a little time each day, probably just maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, I would say about 10 minutes every day for 2 weeks. Uh, no more than that. Uh, so I spent about, yeah, 10 minutes every day for 2 weeks just thinking that he had a car, just assuming that he already had a car. And during that 10 minutes, I would hear his voice sort of telling me in an excited way that he had this car, and I was really careful to hear his intonation and the way that he would say it exactly. And also I would spend some time um, touching his new car with my imaginary hand. Um, and that was the bulk of what I would do during those 10 minutes. Also, I would just sort of feel happy for him. I'd feel the emotions of it, obviously, and just try and believe that it was true in that moment that he already has that car. Pretty basic stuff, I guess. So, yeah, after about 2 weeks, I totally kind of lost interest, forgot about it, and it wasn't maybe a few weeks after that, after I had forgot about it, that all of a sudden he came into an unexpected amount of money. Some relative left him like 5,000 bucks, and obviously he was really happy about that. And he said, "Oh, I'm going to start looking for cars." And he wasn't, and he did. He started looking for cars, and I thought, "Oh, but that's it. That's the end of it. All right, manifestation worked. No problem, easy peasy." But he couldn't find a good deal on a car. A couple weeks went by, a month went by, the money was dwindling in his account, and he still didn't have a car. And I was talking to him about it one day, and I suddenly realized, hey, wait a minute, my dad actually has this used car that he's trying to get rid of, and it's a really good deal, and maybe I should try and get my friend to buy that car. Maybe that would work well. So my friend agreed to come check it out, and he absolutely loved it. He thought it was the perfect car. It was a great deal, and he ended up, of course, buying the car, and it still is working to this day. He only had to spend maybe $1,000 on it, and it's been at least 3 or 4 years since, I mean, since he's had it, and it's still running. So that's cool. He has a new car now, but he still has that old one too for his girlfriend or whatever. So yeah, it worked out really well, and I just really like the story because although I don't think it's always necessary to take physical action in order to realize your vision or realize your imaginal goal, I I liked it in this instance because for me it just acted as additional reassurance that, hey, I did play a part in these circumstances unfolding, um, and that my imaginal acts really did play a big part. And the fact that the car ended up coming from my dad in such a direct way, related to me and my actions in such a direct way, just acted as confirmation that, hey, it was my imagination that played the prime mover here. And just as an added bonus too, just as a side note, completely unexpectedly, my dad, for whatever reason, decided to give me a cut of the money that he got from my friend. So, you know, my dad got like $1,000 for the car or something, and he gave me a few hundred just for brokering the deal, I guess. But it was completely unexpected, and again, it acted as confirmation, like, wow, um, you know, here I was sending out these vibes of abundance and just love, and it's sort of appropriate that it came back to me in such a tangible way, you know, a few $100, which was cool. So, not thinking about it now, I guess I could have maybe gave that back to my friend and been like, here you go, here's some of your money back, but I don't know, he seemed happy enough, and I was able to use the money for whatever. So, I guess that's about it, though. Hopefully you guys got something out of it, and you feel like you know a little bit more about me now. And hopefully I will be uploading a lot more videos, a lot more frequently in the future. So, thank you for listening.